Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night, September 15th. And today I am back from what I was doing, and we're going to be talking about the tropics because we have a pretty big deal in the tropics going on right now. And so we're going to be talking about that the whole video. So I'm sorry I have been away for a while. I've been trying to get my schoolwork done. I've been behind on my schoolwork, but I've been trying to get kind of do more. I've been trying to get ahead, and so now I can actually do videos. So tomorrow's video will be coming out at around 1 to 2 p.m. That's Eastern time. So if you live in Pacific, it'll be different. But yeah, that's when it's going to be coming out tomorrow. But yeah, let's get started. So this is this is Hurricane Sally. Sorry, it is a weak Category 1 hurricane right now, right to the south of the coast of Alabama. We can see it has a little eye on infrared right there. Let me get that. Look at this in blue here. You can see right there, have a little eye, and have the cloud shields going on. The cloud shield is pretty big with this. Now, this used to be a stronger storm last night. It actually used to be a Cat 2 last night, a little bit. Yeah, it used to be a Category 2 hurricane last night for a little bit, but then it weakened because it's pretty much just moving. It's barely moving right now. As you guys can see, if we go 200 frames ago, so if we do the 200 frame option, you can see 200 frames ago, this was this morning. You can see the center of it was not really well defined, but I've noticed it's been strengthening a lot throughout the day, as you guys can see here, and it's even trying to put out that eye, as you guys can see right there. In the past few scans, it's been looking really good over the past 2 hours. It's been looking much better, and so I think it's going to strengthen a little bit. So that's what it looks like right now. It is a hurricane 80 miles per hour right now, minimum central pressure of 975. Let's just talk about this real quick. The Atlantic is very active. We have Paulette, but Paulette's not really affecting anybody. And Vicky and Teddy, though, we do need to watch those. But they are moving. The National Hurricane Center has them moving. Teddy being a major hurricane and heading towards Bermuda. And we're not going to be talking about those in today's video. Maybe tomorrow's when I have more time. And then it has. This is Vicky. It's heading straight west and weakening. So we're gonna have to see if it does weaken those. And we have 3 more disturbances right now. This one right here is probably the most worries me the most. And this one right here, though, it's not very strong. So we're gonna have to see where it goes though. So yes. Now let's click on Sally and see what's going on. So flooding is actually the biggest issue with this. We can see it's forecasted to be a hurricane and make landfall pretty much tomorrow morning, which I'm not going to be able to live stream for, so I'm sorry for that. But this thing has a very big wind field too. And then it's supposed to go into southern Alabama as a tropical storm, and then by Thursday afternoon, it's forecasted to be a depression and go into Georgia and hit areas like Macon, maybe some winds up to Atlanta, and depression into South Carolina for areas like in central South Carolina. So areas like coastal Alabama, you're going to get hit the hardest right now. Areas of the western Panhandle, Alabama, and maybe southeastern Louisiana, you guys could get some storm surge. And Montgomery, Alabama, you're in the cone, right in the path of this. I think, yeah, you're right to the north of where the National Hurricane Center has a track going through, but you're still in that cone though. And you will feel impacts from this if you're outside of the cone. So yeah, you guys probably know that already. Wind speed probabilities, you can see 190 to 100% along the coast right there. U.S. rainfall potential. Now this is interesting because we can see areas down here in the Alabama coastline. The Weather Prediction Center, the National Hurricane Center is thinking it's going to get 20 plus inches, like a bunch of offices made this. And then 6 to 8 inches or 6 to 10 going all the way up in the southern North Carolina. So that's probably going to change when we go into tomorrow's video. Now, greatest flash flood risk over the next 3 days. We have a high risk in areas of the western Florida Panhandle and the southeastern Alabama coastline. We have that moderate risk going all the way to North Carolina, including cities like Birmingham, Montgomery, Atlanta, and Greenville, South Carolina. So yes, that is Sally. Now, there's also a tornado threat with Sally. We can see the SPC has a slight risk today for tornadoes. In Florida and southern Alabama right there, 5%. And then for day 2, you can see we have a slight risk a little bit further to the east. Yeah, a very slight. We have a marginal risk that goes further to the north almost areas like Macon, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, Albany, Georgia, areas southeastern Alabama like Dothan, Montgomery are right on the edge of that. So yes. Now day 3, we don't have anything. So yeah, a marginal could be introduced, kind of in this area. I'm thinking potentially, maybe. But yeah, so let's look at potential rainfall from different models. So the GFS is just making landfall tomorrow morning as a strong storm at 981 millibars, coming up through central Alabama. Coming up, low pressure system goes kind of right through Atlanta, and so it has a track. Let's do this actually. So let's draw like the track line for what the GFS is taking. So GFS is a storm taking it has it making landfall right there. So like that. Has it making landfall and then going up like that. And we switch this, we go back like that. Is it going up into Georgia? And then it has it taking a track exactly like this. And so the biggest tornado threat is going to be in this area to the south of that. And the highest rain potential is going to be right to the north of that, is what I'm thinking. Or kind of right along it, or right to a little bit to the south of it. And so let's look at some other models here. Not the best model, but let's look at the Canadian. See what it's saying. So let's see the differences it has. So I should not have gotten rid of that, but I did. So let's get the blue color back. So it makes landfall in Mississippi, a little bit in Alabama, pretty much the same spot. Goes up. Looks to have a little bit more of a west. Maybe moving a little bit further to the west, actually. No, maybe a little bit further to the south, actually, according to the Canadian model. And then we can see, a little bit further to the south. In the GFS model, if I can remember, it was like that, yeah. And then the Canadian model has this going like that. And then it goes south like that. And so, yes, so that's kind of what we are. I'm pretty certain that it's going to make landfall in Alabama. That's what these two major models are saying now. That could be wrong. It could make a landfall a little bit further to the west or a little bit further to the east. But I think it's pretty certain on where it's going to happen right now. And now let's look at rainfall of these two models. So it's kind of an important factor because the storm is going to be about rainfall a lot. So let's look at the total accumulated precip and see what it's at. So from Sally, areas along Alabama, there are areas like coastal Alabama, the western Florida Panhandle could get 10 to 24 inches according to the GFS, and it has the majority of the rain kind of in this area. This whole area I'm circling, according to the GFS model, could get 2 to 10 or 2 inches plus, with little pockets of 6 plus in Georgia, and Alabama down here. That's the main rainfall area. So areas like Atlanta, the GFS is getting hit pretty hard. Greenville, South Carolina, Raleigh are kind of on the edge of that according to the GFS model. Now let's look at the Canadian model and see how that differs. All right, so the Canadian model has a little bit further to the southeast. It has the rain a little bit further to the east, actually. So it has areas like me getting in on it. That's exciting. Greenville, South Carolina has you in it. Montgomery, it has you kind of on the northern edge of it, actually, but still getting a ton of rain, so watch out for that. Macon, Georgia has you getting a decent amount. So yeah, the Canadian model is saying a decent amount of rain is going to happen. I do think it might be overdoing some of these amounts in Georgia a little bit. I don't think I'm going to get like 8 inches of rain, but yeah. So that's the Canadian model. Let's talk about the European model and pivotal weather here. So European has us making a further east landfall than the other two models we're looking at. So we can see it makes landfall in Florida right there. And heads up and this. And then kind of does that. And then this ad just popped up. Crap. I messed that up, correct. Alright, so the one like this. The European models are doing like that and then going this way. And then kind of generally like that. So the European model has a far more southeastern trend to this. But now an interesting thing is that if you go to the total accumulated precip, I found this kind of interesting. So the European model though has like the really heavy rain amounts to the north, it has the really heavy rain amounts in a similar area to the Canadian model. As you guys can see here, the Canadian model has it in a similar area. It's kind of like it's kind of similar. It just has a low pressure system a little bit further to the east, in the southeast. But yeah, we can see areas like Atlanta around 9 inches, down towards Florida, reasonable amounts, so almost 15. So yeah, for still very heavy rain. So flooding is going to be a major problem with this. Like the European model has like areas getting 6 or 4 inch plus amounts from southeastern Alabama, central and northern Georgia, northern South Carolina, and a good amount of central and eastern North Carolina and the Florida Panhandle. So this is a pretty big deal. Yeah, that'll all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. I'm sorry I have not been posting, like I said, but we are going to get back on the schedule because I have time now. But yes, peace out.